You know what time it is? I said, do you know what time it is? It's time for KP's Video News. KP's Video News. KP's Video News, yo. That's right. It's time for KP's Video News. And I missed a day or so. Just trying to relax a little bit. And hey, we all here at the house, and not really doing much, and just staying in nationwide. Hopefully, if you got those teenage kids that want to go outside, hey, tell them to take their little ass in the backyard somewhere, but you ain't going outside of this yard where they can go out there and get infected and then bring it back into your household. I had one story that I did last week about a woman and her three sons down in Louisiana that passed away, and actually one of the boys had just moved back to Louisiana so he could be close to the family, and wow, just him moving back cost him his life. But anyway, on with the story here. Story number one. The Baltimore Police Department launched an investigation into one of its sergeants after a video surfaced on social media showing him repeatedly coughing as he walked past a group of residents at the public housing complex. In the video, a woman filming calls out the officer as he walks past the woman. The officer coughs several times without covering his mouth. She continue to film the officer, who is white, coughs again as he passes several more people. The woman filming yells at the officer, yells at the officer, and so it goes back and forth. And let's see, Kobe Little, president of the Baltimore NAACP branch, called the officer's actions disturbing. This officer must immediately be pulled from contact with the public and subsequently held accountable for his actions, Little said in a statement. This incident is emblematic of the force's failure to respect and build trust with the people of Baltimore. The incident happened at the Perkins Homes public housing complex in the southeast part of the city. Police have not identified the sergeant and did not say why he was at the complex. The department's Public Integrity Bureau has launched an internal investigation into the incident and reviewed the social media video as well as the officer's body-worn camera, a police spokeswoman person said. The department takes the C virus very seriously, and we do not condone any action by our members which may be perceived as making light of the C virus pandemic, police said in a statement. A complete investigation will be conducted, and the department hopes that all of its members and the public will continue to work together with respect as we maneuver forward during this challenging time, the statement continued. And if it had been me and I was the chief of police, he would have been fired. He would have been immediately fired, and it was just I'm just going to fire you. You're just going to have to fight to get your job back, because basically you took an oath to serve, supposedly to serve and protect, and that's not serving and protecting. That's acting a fool and harassing. So here we go here, and it's this is another story that I've been touching on here, and this is a letter of this thing that had to deal with the CDC, and the CDC came out with some stats, a few stats about why African Americans dying from the C virus at a higher rate. Better data is essential. And in Chicago, in a recent report, found that 70% of the people who died from the coronavirus, the disease are black, even though the city's population is just 30%. In Milwaukee County, which is 27% black, the figure is 81% of the people had passed away. And public health officials tracking the coronavirus have seen similar disproportionate impacts in African Americans in Philadelphia, Detroit, New Orleans, and other cities. But just how widespread the disparities might be across the country is difficult to know, because most states and the federal government haven't released the demographic data on the race or ethnicity of people who have tested positive for the virus. That's created an information gap that could aggravate existing health disparities, prevent cities and states from equally distributing medical resources, and potentially violate the law. So this is it's a civil rights violation to prohibit federally funded healthcare providers from administering services in a discriminatory manner. And so these things are going on right now. So we don't really truly know if it's the reason why so many black people are passing away. We don't know if the reason is because black people are just more susceptible to getting the disease, or that they're dying because they're getting poor treatment and they're getting poor care and they're not getting the care that they need. So therefore, more information needs to be gathered. More watchdog groups need to be out there following up on this, and to keep your eyes open. I'm trying to tell you, man, you got to keep your eyes open, because these things are happening, and I'm not just throwing it out there just for the sake of throwing it out there. And so the BET came up with a follow-up on this. Once this went out actually yesterday, and BET addresses coronavirus racial disparity with Saving Ourselves, and that's a TV show that they came up with. And this is story number 3. As African Americans are being disproportionately infected with and dying from the coronavirus, BET found it to serve that community stepping up. BET has started a series of initiatives to provide educational and financial resources to the black community. The Saving Ourselves, a BET COVID-19 relief effort broadcast special, will be co-hosted by Grammy Award-winning singer and actress Kelly Rowland, TV personality Terrence Jones, and actress Regina Hall, and it will air on 8 p.m. on April 22nd. That's like a couple of weeks from now. However, you can go to Unmasked, a coronavirus viral town hall series powered by the NAACP, and that will be live streamed at NAACP.org. And that was you can live stream that. So just go to NAACP.org and look for Unmasked, a COVID-19 virtual town hall series powered by the NAACP and BET. And anyway, the COVID-19 pandemic is savagely compounding and profounding health and financial vulnerabilities that many black Americans face. Every day, there are new reports of how this pandemic is killing African Americans at a much higher rate than other communities. BET is using all of our resources, our capital, our media platforms, our relationships with the creative community, sponsors, businesses, and charitable organizations to support our community in this time of crisis and this time of need. The network has also established a COVID-19 relief fund in partnership with the United Way worldwide to support African Americans that have been severely impacted by the pandemic, and will host the Our Part virtual town hall series in partnership with the NAACP. So, not only is the virus affecting the African American community, you also have to realize that there's a lot of people out there in the community that have those type of jobs that, once their jobs got shut down, that was it. They never received another dime. They never received a penny. And so the thing about that is, now this money that they're supposed to be giving to these small businesses, the loophole, hopefully all the loopholes were sealed, because they're not supposed to be, those small businesses are not supposed to be able to get that money unless they actually pay the employees, and that would be money they would be getting back for playing. And if they didn't pay the employees, then it would be more or less like a loan they would have to pay back. But if they had employees that were there and they furloughed them and they paid them, then that loan would not be repayable. So it would be detrimental to those small businesses to actually pay the employees and not stiff them and not give them any money. So it's a whole nother loophole, and I'm gonna talk about that when I do a little more research on that. And because we're being affected in many more ways. You're talking about evictions. You're talking about no paychecks coming in. You're talking about bad health care coverage. Oh boy, this thing is deeper than what you think it is, and you really truly need to pay attention to KP Video News. Share this with your friends. Pass it on to your family members. Share it on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever social media that you are on. Share KP Video News with your people and your friends and your co-workers and everybody else. And I appreciate it and thank you. And it's KP Video News. Peace. You know what time it is? I said, do you know what time it is? It's time for KP Video News. KP Video News, folks. That's right.